Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Nordic Takedown Star Wars Unlimited podcast. My name is Viktor, and with me today I have Adam.
Hello. I'm gonna say, and then I get something in my throat. But hello.
Hello and welcome. We met this weekend and hang out a bit with my guest tonight, Pontus.
Hello, yeah. It's been nice to be here. It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been a while since you were on the podcast, but
Yeah.
again, we met this weekend. So
Very true.
not that long ago we met. So you're listening to the episode 79. And this episode is going to be all about Malmö Game Week's Malmö Star Wars Unlimited Open number 2. That's what I think the tournament was actually called. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. And that's why Adam and me, we were both there representing ourselves as best we could, playing cards. And I don't think either of us are completely happy with our performances, but we'll talk more about that in a bit. You, on the other hand, Pontus, you can be very happy with your performance because you were an official, and
Yes.
I've got to say this was a really well run tournament.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear. Yeah, I thought so as well. Like everything went smooth. All my colleagues were top notch. I feel like great. We had a great team, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think doing the regular Cantina catch up seems a little bit silly because what we've been doing the last week is preparing and doing the Malmö Game Week. So that's what we're talking about anyway, all episode. So let's just dive into it, shan't we? So first of all, like I was on to here, I think this event ran incredibly smoothly. Tell us a little bit about the TO staff and judging staff, Pontus.
Yeah, absolutely. So the TO was Marcus. I actually forget his last name because I only know Miss Makan. But
Yeah.
he was the guy that's basically was like he was the guy behind the entire event, or the main guy, like Malmö Game Week. But he was also TO for the tournament. And he put together, with the help of Matthias, a great team. And we had actually 7 judges all in all. And it was Matthias as head judge, and there was me, and there was Chris from Germany, Alex from Belgium, but he's an American living in Belgium. I don't know what to call it. And then we had Rich from the UK. Let's see. Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting 2 people, obviously.
You're forgetting the Norwegian.
Oh,
Lasse.
Lasse, yes, of course, Lasse. And then we had the Spanish guy, Guidion, of course. Yes.
So between that little troop of people, you managed to run this event virtually without any hiccups. I don't think I've ever had such smooth transitions with every round. Even at Galactics, I think we were waiting longer for pairings and all that. So it was really, really smoothly done. Do you know any statistics or numbers for players and whatnot?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we had on the big tournament, we had 90 players for the first day of main event, which went for, let's see, was it 7?
7 rounds, yeah.
7 rounds. Yeah, it's been a lot to remember here, and then we're going into top 16, which is a little bit unusual, but that's the way to do it on that tournament.
Yeah, it's a very generous cut. We had that last year as well, so I think it's sort of an established tradition by now.
Yeah, seems like they like it that way. Who knows if we're going to change anything changing for next year? We will see.
So it is a 2-day event. So the first day, 7 rounds of Swiss, and then cut to top 16 for the second day. So I guess it's kind of a compromise, not doing a 64-person second day when there's 90 players. It seems a little bit silly, and also not just cutting to some number to do more Swiss seems a little bit silly. So top 16 is a good compromise to be more generous, get more people to actually get to play second day, and then still not have to do any weird shit.
It also worked a lot better with our current rule setting with the IDs. because actually now going 5-2 mattered. If we would not have had it, like we would only have 6 1-on-1s making it something like that. So, and also some of the 5-2s failed to get in, right? So it was still like a few missed, like I think it was 20 or 21 or 19 that ended 5-2 or better, but 16 cut. So it was actually like, if you had a better than 5-2 score, you got in, and the ones with the best strength of schedule of the 5-2s got in. So in a way, it's more, nobody can complain that they got completely cheated, at least by the system.
There were actually, if I brought it up real quick since I have it, there were 5 5-2s in the top 16 and 4 out that missed it.
Yeah,
so about half and half.
Yeah,
I guess you could argue that having tiebreakers decide whether or not you get into the top cut is also a kind of being cheated by the system, or so to speak. But I think a lot of people were happy with this, and a lot of people felt that this felt fair, and that everyone could keep playing for a spot in the top cut. So as long as people are feeling that they have some kind of control over their placement, it doesn't really matter what's what. It's the perception that's the important thing, and people having that good play experience of being able to get in.
Yeah, feeling like they are in control in some way.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lesson that maybe having somewhat more generous top cuts can generate pretty good results at sometimes. So it's probably a good idea to look at it for these kinds of tournaments that don't necessarily have to abide by the stipulations by the FFG documents.
And like when you're doing a 2-day event anyway, it's only 1 hour extra, or roughly 1 hour extra, a little more. So like, why not, really?
Yeah, the top cut games usually go faster. It's usually like less of a chance of going to time, because there are fewer
longer,
games.
So
yeah, but it's also
it's
fewer games played, which means it's like, if it's like someone, even the slow player, if he has a bad matchup or a good matchup, it's not going to take the 75. And when you go to in the Swiss rounds, it's always going to take 75 basically.
Pretty much.
So I
think that is also, like as Pontus said, it's basically just an added hour.
More or less. So how would you describe the overall feeling of playing in the event, Adam?
It was good. We were clumped with the Lorcana guys, which isn't that bad. it's okay. We got the inside track at least, which I think was nice. Not sure if we were just lucky, but it felt good. It was quite clear with when the next round was going to start and stuff. I think the only thing I would somewhat criticize, and that's a positive criticize or something, it's like, maybe since we were so close to Lorcana, we should have a mic, because it was a little bit hard to hear Matthias sometimes when he was yelling out, because we were usually not like silent at the same time, right? So even if every Star Wars player is silent, it's a bunch of Lorcana players talking in the background, which we can't tell to shut up. And then it's a little bit hard to hear the judge when he speaks. And that could be like, some of the newer players maybe really wanted to hear what is said, and it could be hard.
It is important for sure.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could remember that was like a little bit like, I could basically imagine his spiel. I've heard Matthias a few times, but for those who can't, but it's not his fault. I think just maybe for the next year, get a mic.
That's actually something that Matthias asked for, and it's just something, I don't know, something with the logistics made it fall through. I don't know. He asked for it weeks before, I know. So I don't blame anyone. There's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
So, but I think they might not have realized how important it could be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And that's not prioritized.
That's probably something to prioritize for next year.
Yeah. And for everyone is wondering, like, how hard is that or something like that? The Malmö Game Week is like a big event. It's like these tournaments are like a small part of the event. like
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah.
Avengers and stuff like that, and Marcus being TO, also being the architect for the whole event together with one or two more people. Just getting everything on spot is hard.
I think I heard this a number that they sold 4,000 tickets for the events,
That
like
is
the
crazy.
Malmö Game Week. Yeah, so
something like that.
our 90
I heard
players is just a small little part.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. And even if you add the Lorcana players, which were maybe double our numbers,
Yeah,
or even
something like that. Yeah,
even triple, maybe. No matter what, the actual card tournament participants were just a small fraction of the audience for this event. It was a huge event, actually. And overall, like, one of the things that I really enjoyed with the event was how it managed to actually bring most of the top players from Sweden, Denmark, and Norway together. And we haven't
and
really
Poland.
had that. Yeah, exactly. We haven't really had that in a while, because now every country have their own PQs, and very few players actually travel. So it's usually just like the most local players plus those living in Sweden closest to it, because Sweden is the big one here. It's actually further for some people to travel to Stockholm than it is to travel to Copenhagen or so on. So you'd go to the closest PQ, whichever country that is in, but you wouldn't have that many people travel to those further away. But with this event, we really managed to get a lot of the top players from all three countries in the same room.
Yeah.
And that was just such a great feeling. Like, a lot of these people are the kind of people you want to hang out with anyway.
Yeah.
And for me, it was great seeing everyone.
Last time that happened was Lille.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, I agree. This is I think it's a nice event to have, to bring the community together like that, and really showcase that the Nordic countries can be one meta at large in that way.
Yeah.
I like that.
So cool.
What's your takeaway from the event, Pontus?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have much more to add than what we already said. Actually, I think it went super smooth, and it's super cool that we had so many players. You know, we could have had more, but the point system made it maybe not reasonable for some people to come. But yeah,
You mean the lesser of the 2-point systems, because the
course.
better point system is going to count this event.
Yeah. I was
really
unclear.
important
Yes.
one, the Nordic takedown point system.
the less important system of like the points you get from PQs and RQs and SQs. That's that point system.
Oh yeah. Now we get you.
Yeah, no, this wasn't an official event in that way. It did not bring points towards Galactics, of course.
Yeah,
but it was
maybe next year. I know.
Who knows?
I know there has been talks. Nothing has been decided or anything yet, but I know there's been talks, and maybe it'll happen next year. We'll see.
Really? Yeah. So that brings us into actually, what do we think is the future of this event? We know that Malmö Game Week is already booked for the same venue next year, and I have a very hard time seeing that Mackan won't be bringing SWU back for a SWU Open 3.
He's definitely doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Unless something really weird happens.
What's in the cards for SWU Open 3? Do you think?
I think it's going to be bigger. I hope it's going to be a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we can get points, for example, that's going to mean people want to travel for that reason as well as just having the experience, you know, and have a good tournament with all the top players from the Nordics and around.
I mean, it's not an official event at this point, but it was sponsored by Asmodee and Fantasy Flight. So, I mean, they're in the event in many ways.
Yeah. Hopefully it will be an actual official event next year. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. What do you think? Is it possible to break the record, or are we at the capacity now? Is this the kind of numbers we're going to pull next year?
I think it's all about I think that we had enough pricing to pull more if there were like people interested in that kind of prices here. I think the next step to bring even more people would be have it official or getting points, right? Like getting it
Yeah.
to count as a PQ or actually as a sector. That would be like the big things. I think like
Yeah.
a Nordic sector would be really cool. And like having it in Malmö on the Malmö Game Week would be like a very good like marketing opportunity as well for Asmodee. Like since it's like 4,000 nerds around, and if they see this
Yeah.
huge event, like I talked to Gustav, I think he said it was a lot of like parents and their sons trying out the SWU on the Learn to Play area. Like I think there might be even more if they see that it's like, whoa, 524 people are gathered here for like multiple countries around the globe. So I think it's a great opportunity for them to host it as a sector, and they don't have to do that much. They just have to say, Marcus, can you do this? And he will bring the
Yeah,
people.
Pretty much.
he's gonna do it anyway,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they should, in my opinion, give them a sector for next season. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's I think would
No.
be smart of them.
It's a smart move from FFG.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the Asmodee guys really liked what they saw as well. So maybe we'll see.
Let's talk a little bit about what the meta was like for the event. What kind of decks did we see? What kind of spread did we see? Was there anything that stood out to you, Adam?
Nothing in particular. It was kind of not exactly the same as Odense, but close to. The two most popular decks there was Boba Fett and Quinlan. That was still true, just that they switched places. I would say so. Boba took a little bit of a decline. Quinlan took a big rise, which wasn't super surprising.
Nah, not really.
I was not surprised that Sabine was going up because it's also been doing better. It's also Han 2. I guess it's the only like surprise for me was that Mother Talsin did so well. Like 5 decks total and 3 made the top cut, I think, something like that. And 1, 2, and they also knocked out each other right in the top 8. So it was like semis, top 8, and top 16. So I would say that would be the bigger surprise for me of the event. I didn't think so many of the good players in Sweden were still on that day, basically.
Well, I mean, we have the Jacobs who have been testing it for Galactics, and I don't think they've found anything really to match it. They've been playing it all along, kind of. So they're not new to the deck or anything. And
No.
again,
I was just assuming they had jumped the ship.
Oh, they're not the ship jumping kind. So yeah, and then you had apparently 3 more players on that deck. So I guess there is a little bit of a contingent for the deck. I mean, it won Galactics, so it's clearly a very strong deck. It's just really, really hard to pilot.
It's actually also getting a little bit of a readjustment into the meta because, as you can see here, there is there were basically no top players or good players on the blue-green villainy control. There was like
no.
1 blue-green Gari Ciel, which is a bit tough, but
two actually.
2, yeah. I just meant 1 made the top cuts.
Yeah.
And like that is the hardest matchups for the Talsin. Like Talsin thrives into Han 2 blue. For example, and Han 2 green. That's where they like, and Anakin is also good unless you get force throwed on flip every turn. So like, and it's actually
Quinlan
also
is decent.
It's actually really good into Quinlan because it's just has a better late game. You can just chill and kill.
And even if it can't be exactly as quick as Quinlan can be, it has ways to slow Quinlan down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the
Yeah,
Boba Data Vault is not terrible. The Sabine is close, not terrible. Like, if you remove these Data Vault decks, that is villain side, not Poe Dameron, and they it just has a really good like field. Of course, it's still very difficult to pilot, as you said.
Yeah.
But I think they found themselves finding a very good tournament to run it into as well.
Yeah. I find it really interesting that Sabine not only were so well represented, but also, because that makes some sort of sense, but also did fairly well in a field where you still have 8 Boba Data Vaults, and that is perceived by many Sabine players as a really, really hard matchup. What do you think about that?
I don't think it's that bad as Sabine.
Yeah.
I think it's not easy, but I think it's like a bit 50-50, especially with the new MC tech.
Yeah.
So,
that really changes things.
which, like, I think you can raise it. Obviously, Boba is Boba, so if it draws the barrages and stuff, like, you're gonna lose. But like, also depends a little bit how you build your decks and stuff. But I am not, and since it's like only 8 Bobas in a 90-player tournament, some of them are bound to dodge it. There was also a Sabine Data Vault making the top cut, and I think that one has, because the traditional ECL one, instead of changing record for MC, you just change ECL for Data Vault and get 8 HP and start racing. So I think that one is a smart move to play into the Boba Data Vault, for sure.
I would agree there. So, to me, one of the really surprising things is the lack of Kylo Ren in this tournament. We had 2 Kylo ECLs and only 1 Kylo Tarkin Town. Why do you think that is? Why is this deck not more represented? Or these 2 decks, really?
It is kind of figured out.
Yeah.
That
the
is,
Galactics really had the upper hand because they were unknown.
Yeah.
Oh, but it has taken down quite a few PQs after that as well.
I think people here was probably afraid of all the aggravated parliamentarians in the sideboard, even though I removed them because I didn't expect any Kylos. But like the Kylo ECL, people are perceiving the Kylo Data Vault to be better. And if you're running Kylo Data Vault, people think that Iden Data Vault is even better than that. So then Kylo Green is kind of out in general. Like, not everyone is agreeing on this. And then the Kylo Tarkin Town is, I think that one is a little bit figured out. Everyone can have a clear match game plan against it.
Sure.
So you don't. Some decks now, when they know how to play against it, doesn't even need the parliamentarian. Like, all the blue decks run 2 to 3 rivals fall now. Like, and the Tarkin Town one can never flip earlier. So if you just sit there with that one till the flip, which means they will either have to gamble or just wait until they can one-shot you, and that's, you usually lose before that.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
But maybe it could have been more, but I think that's why people have opted out of it in general. Also, like, Boba Data Vault has pushed out a lot of control styles, people with a lot of less HP stuff. I think he's, if there is like a boogeyman in here, it is the Boba Data Vault. He's the one shutting some decks out. The other ones aren't really shutting them out because, like, Hantu is supposed to be really good in Sabine, but Sabine is still here.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. The yellow was only represented with 2 decks.
That's surprising,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, even if that one might be pretty figured out as well, it's still a really cheap deck that sometimes just wins.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be really appealing to a lot of people?
But I mean, isn't that just a matter of fact that people are preparing for space aggro these days?
Yeah, sure. but sometimes they don't draw it and you
Oh,
just win.
of course. Yeah.
This deck has that speed and ability that you have to have the answers. If you don't, it wins.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
but I'm thinking maybe just it might be going down because they realize that there's more sideboard against them, and they're like, then I'll choose something else. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of this wrong. What do you think?
No, I agree. Like, I think that's probably the reason. I think it's still good enough to be played more than 2 out of 90. It's fairly easily piloted. Sometimes you just, as you say, it does it even more than the Sabine. Just
Yeah.
it wins. Like
Yeah.
by just like the Boba Data Vault. Like it just wins by playing some cards and like, oh, you couldn't answer. It's too bad. And you have some outplays, like you have outmaneuvers, you have waylays, and like when to play the Victor leader, stuff like that. So I would expect more than that, but I think people are tired of getting bombing around to the ground,
Yeah.
winning like game one and then getting bombing around for the rest and just lose 2-1. I would assume that's the case. It's also not that awesome into Boba Data Vault, I think.
No, I think Data Vault has so many space threats that can just deal with it.
Yeah, and looking into the Odense before, I think, and that was just 2 weeks prior, people might have felt that it was a bit risky bringing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But speaking of Boba, how come like we had was it 8? Yeah, 8, and but only one in top 16. What do you think that? What's the reason for that?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. This deck it's a Data Vault deck, so it does have some more variance to it, just naturally. But more importantly, I think the deck isn't. It does strong things, but it is extremely predictable. It plays the thing it's going to play every time, and sometimes they have the nuts, so they can play the very best things. And if they don't, it's very clear what's going to happen. Like the worst case scenario is they play this card. The second worst case scenario is this card. So people can kind of learn the ropes around it. But more importantly, I think a lot of people just, when you lose with such a deck, it feels so much out of your control. It's such a bad feeling losing with a deck where you can't even improve. There's no way to play better. So I think a lot of good players gravitate away from this deck, who's like if your skill ceiling, if you feel that your skill ceiling is higher, you don't feel that you probably can express that skill that much in this deck. Whereas I guess it's very appealing because it's quite easy to learn and you can do pretty well with it, even if you haven't played it that long. It doesn't take that many reps to get pretty proficient with it. So it appeals to players that might not be as well prepared. And it is less appealing to the most well prepared players. That's my thought on why it translates poorly.
I agree, mostly. And then, of course, Han 2 Blue has a resurgent. Like I think there was only one in Odense, and here we have 5. And that is a really poor matchup for the Boba Data Vault. It struggles quite a lot into it. So I think that, and that like now people are, if they can, they are teching versus it, like the Sabines, either putting the MC or going into Data Vault. And like it's not free into Quinlan and Mother Talsin either, or Anakin for that matter. Anakin is actually really good into Boba Data Vault.
Yeah. Anakin's a good matchup into it.
So like, even if it shut some people out, it also invited Hantu back, Hantu Blue back in, and Anakin in. Anakin is probably the one that benefits the most. Like he's like, okay, I'll take some to my base.
Yeah, and I can decide exactly how many.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly on the threshold. So yeah, Anakin doesn't cry. I think one thing that's very noteworthy though is that talking about what did well, some really interesting decks popped up and did super well in this tournament. We had obviously the two big champs bringing some really cool spicy decks, but then you had some odd ones also doing really well. If we look at the top 16, we of course Talsin we already talked about a little bit, but we had a Cad Bane come back here, and we also had a Poe Dameron Data Vault.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some interesting cards coming up in the top 16.
Yeah.
And also we had a Kylo Green and we had a Gar Saxon Green. Those aren't really that surprising. These are decks that have been popping a little bit. But we have again the Sabine DV deck showing. And we had a Chancellor Pulp Blue showing. So a widespread of really different decks.
Yeah, and Jonas's yellow throne as well.
Throne yellow, yeah. That I think that's a really good deck.
Yeah, really spicy.
I think that's the real deal. I don't think that's your spice. Maybe it needs a little bit more polishing because he's only begun working on it really, but I think there's something there. What do you guys think
about his deck? Or
well, like all these more interesting decks coming in here, like the off meta things.
It feels like you got rewarded for being a little bit like off the meta, or like off. Of course, you got really rewarded if you were super meta, as Emil, who won it with two blue. Very meta. But like Chancellor Palpatine, the Flippatine went second. The Cad Bane, Jonathan has been working on that for a long time. I've been coaching as well, and like everyone keeps saying it's bad or it doesn't belong, but these Cad Bane players that have been playing it for a long time, they keep showing up and always do good. Which for sure, which actually is a big testament to how that it's a very hard deck to pilot.
I would agree.
And then so that is pretty cool. Other than that, it's just Troll that Beton made a top 8 with that Count Dooku Blue Force. Some people are going to take this to their tournaments, and they are going to be very sad because they're going to lose. Yeah, they're going to lose a lot of games.
I do love that he does that stuff, because it shows that you can play other stuff, even though most people probably can't. It is possible.
Yeah. Where I think Jonas is maybe onto something with his deck. I don't think the Dooku Virgin's Temple is going to be sticking around.
Seems unlikely, yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be its best performance for this set and all coming set. Might be Dooku's best performance at all.
Yeah.
So I guess that one is the most criminal one in there.
Yeah. Because Chancellor Pulp has actually been around. This Chancellor Pulp Blue deck has performed before. Yeah. This is not the first time this deck has popped up as a viable deck. It's definitely not meta, and it's definitely not tier 1, but it is on the verge there. When you can do hard control, this deck has a little bit of a different spin on hard control, and it can do it in a way that maybe not everyone is able to answer. So yeah, I think that deck is surprising, but not entirely out of the blue. But the Grand Admiral Throne deck, that was, I did not see that one coming.
No, and I didn't think it was what it was either. So that was it was very fun. I'm very glad I beat it on stream though. So,
yeah.
Before it all went to the poopers.
Yeah.
Got some revenge.
So maybe we should just talk a little bit about the stream, because I'm so proud of what we did there. Yeah. We put on an absolutely amazing stream this week, and I think, and we've got a lot of good feedback from all over the world on this stream as well. Yeah. The crystal clear image, no glare at all. We put up a tent above the whole thing in order to just isolate that and control the light sources. I didn't do nothing. Jason and Marcus and the guys did, and they made such a great job at this. and then we had a really good crew streaming it, and I had such a great time the second day streaming. Just being able to pull people in, like just pop by and talk to people on stream like that was just a great feeling. I really hope people watch the stream and have a good time with that, because I really had a good time doing it.
Yeah, I've been watching it back after the fact, the VODs, and I agree fully. Jason did a stellar job. I think I was also. I mean, this was really his first big like hosting a stream, right?
Since last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So,
the last time he did this was for Malmö Game Week last year, and at that point he was such a newbie at the thing. He was very much out of his depth, and this time he really stepped up his game.
for sure. Yeah, great job, Jason.
Yeah, very much so.
Sure.
And
it was. I completely agree that it adds. We at least use the ability when we are on spot that you can't do when you're like remote. Just grab someone and bring it in. Like you got to see multiple different faces and stuff like that. I think that was making at least quite a lot of use of being on site. So I think that was
especially for day 2, we pretty much interviewed everyone that had just been on stream. We pulled the winner off the stream and talked to them.
Nice.
And on top of that, we got Beton on, had a great interview with Beton, and it's just really nice. And I mean, you came by when you had the buy and just popped in, and I think we had a really good time. And I think that shows. Like when I've been watching some of it back, it comes across how much fun we had, I think. And that's such a good thing. I hope that makes people want to come next year. If they see it, they might be interested. It does up the bar quite significantly for what we need to do in the future, because now people expect our things to look really good.
And for better or for worse.
For better or for worse, we're gonna have to do well from now. Yep.
Good luck in Oslo.
Yeah. We'll see. Oh, speaking of which, we do have some really cool streams coming up. We have 3 more PQs in Scandinavia coming up. Well, in the Nordic countries, really. Finland isn't technically part of Scandinavia, but it's definitely part of the Nordics. So
it depends on who you ask, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the word region word thing, how it's phrased. But anyway, Oslo is our next one coming up this weekend. I've pulled together an amazing team to cast that one. I'm going to have some of the Bad Batch guys from Australia come on and help with the early rounds, because then they have to go to bed. It's time zones and all that. And then Lego Pizza, Ian Klein, is joining me from the lunch break and forward, casting the rest of the tournament. And also Loopy will be coming back for the full play set of 3 Oslo PQs. He's been casting with me for the 2 previous one, and he was really eager to do this 3rd one as well. So that's a really cool cast, I think.
Yeah.
I hope it's going to be really good. Then a couple of weeks later, we have the Helsinki PQ, and we actually have clearance now. We are going to stream that one.
Nice.
And I don't know, Adam, are you going to host it? Have we decided this now?
Seems so. Yeah. I'm not going, and I've got all cleared. I'm going to host it.
Awesome.
So, do we know if Kevin is going to defend his title?
He's not.
He's not. He's not even on the wait list.
No.
Okay.
And I guess he's already lost his title, right? Because he wasn't there last time.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No. That's true. I forgot. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see which ones that are gonna cast it with me. We haven't still gotten a schedule, but
no.
I would suspect it might be some Moose Packers and maybe some Enigma players that is going to do most of that cast.
I think it might be a good one.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's going to be 5 rounds of Swiss in the top 4. This one,
yeah, it is.
So will be a less phases maybe than when we do 6 rounds in top 8.
For sure. And then last out for the set, we would have the Swedish PQ in Skövde, our home arena, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be probably on-site casting again.
Yeah, that is the plan,
Cool.
and we'll see which one that does it, or like how eventually it will end up. But we're gonna stream it, and hopefully we will do like some cool on spot casting. I will not be the on spot caster. I'm gonna have to try to win it.
Yeah.
I have
Try.
two PQs to reclaim, since I
Yeah.
had missed out on both Oslo and Stockholm, Oslo and Sweden last time. So
Yeah.
I'll be playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I might be
love-
going to Skövde. I haven't quite decided yet, but maybe.
You
Maybe.
should.
You
it
really
would be
should.
fun.
Really should. It's one of my favorite spots to play the game at.
Yeah, I used to live there even, so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, then it's
I mean,
a
it's
no-brainer.
it's a bit out of the way in so many ways, but it's so worth it, yes, to play at Malmö Torsk, which is a store that is just 100% in on the game, and they are really dedicating so much resources to the game. So if you can attend, do attend. It's going to be awesome. I mean, I bet Outland in Oslo is going to be great as well. They're also a really good store and really into it. And I don't know much about Kevin's hobby shop in Helsinki, but I'm afraid it's sold out, so you might not be able to attend.
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, those are the PQs we have coming up, and the streams we have coming up. I don't know. Is there anything else in the works right now?
For the Nordic takedown, or just in general?
Just in general, I guess.
No, I think people are now starting to practice a bit for the bigger, the SQ and the RQ that we get. I assume both are being played in this set.
Yeah, they are.
And then just after Munich, they are gonna like start the pre-releases for set 6, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Uh,
So Munich's going to round out the set, so to speak.
So I think that we will probably see a lot of this meta right in front of Munich, because before Bilbao, because Bilbao is the big one. If there's going to be any surprises, it's going to be there. Probably, unless there is someone crazy at home, like having this deck and can't go to Bilbao or Munich and just gonna do it on a PQ. But otherwise, I think it's gonna be this rotation between Hantu, Blue, Boba Data Vault, and I guess Anakin might get some few more wins in areas where Boba is criminally overplayed.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see any new sudden stars rising up?
I'm afraid no. Maybe a Thrawn deck could, but also they are quite hard to play and not that many plays it, so it might just get the one win or something like that. Just like Sabine Data Vault did, like in set 4. It was a disgustingly good deck, but it didn't just didn't get that much play.
It got a few PQs, but not that many. I think Mother Talsin is going to rise again. I just have such a hard time seeing a deck that is that good.
I think they've already won like two PQs last weekend, so yeah.
Yeah. I think it's definitely, it's just people need to get the reps in with it, and the big teams that have the reps with it haven't been bringing it that much. So I think when they do for the really big tournaments, I think it's going to be Quinlan, Hantu Blue, Malatalsin, maybe some other upstart decks that really duke it out. Like Boba, I such a hard time seeing it actually taking down a really, really big tournament.
I don't think it will win sector or regionals, no, but it's been taking down the biggest of the PQs.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's true. But it sort of baffled me a little bit that it did. But I think the longer the set goes, the harder it's going to be for that kind of deck to actually do it.
Yeah, it's just the deck is just so ultra consistent that
That's true.
Even if it's Data Vault, it's has so many great lines. in the deck. So, and that people are getting quite like, you can become very skilled in the skill gap of the deck quite quick. So like
it's going to be there.
Yeah.
And it's going to gatekeep some things, but I don't think it's going to win any of the big ones.
No, I think that's, unless something new comes up, I think it's most likely going to be Haunt 2 Blue.
Yeah.
That brings
And possibly
the biggest.
some. Yep, and like you said, like there are other decks that can do the same thing. Obviously, the Anakin deck is very similar, and the Mother Talzin deck it's harder to play, but it has some of the strengths of the Hantu deck is also the strength of the Mother Talzin deck.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And Quinlan, obviously, like if you're a really good player with the Quinlan deck, and some people have been on that deck for such a long time, that they really have the reps in it. If you look at guys like the French guys, Alex, no, he's Anakin actually. But Icon Junior, he's been on Quinlan for quite a while. He's really good with it. And there are some others.
I think it's for me. I think it's gonna be probably a PQ winning list, more just like the Boba Data Vault, and not maybe the biggest. But we'll see. I can be wrong, obviously.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. I think that kind of rounds out our cast for this, our pod for this time. Maybe we should end the pod with just like your most memorable moment from Malmö Game Week. What's your most memorable moment, Pontus?
For me, it was when on like towards the end of day one, I was considering not being head judge for the best of rest, because I was like, I don't know if I have the experience, and Rich and Gwydion talked me into it, and it felt really nice to have their backing, and like they had some good points, and it went really well. I had a lot of fun running that tournament, so that was the highlight for me.
What was your highlight, Adam?
It was not my deck list. I think I don't think I have like I have like two highlights, I guess. One was beating Jonas on stream, getting some revenge. And one of the highlights is actually I managed to clear a Relentless, a Devastator, and a Crate in the same turn, without taking any damage from the Crate Dragon. We'd play like getting played cards, and we're talking about the big 10/10 Devastator. That was pretty fun. It's also anticlimactic that I lost the game.
Ironic,
even though I did that massive clear. But that was pretty cool. Like gameplay wise, it was a cool one. And then it was all just meeting all the people. There was so many different people that wanted to speak, talk, and like met some people that I've coached for the first time live. So it was just amazing in general. But that's a few things. That was more than one. How about you, Viktor?
I think my gameplay-wise, my favorite moment was the whole series Myra in round 3. He actually won it, but it was game 1 and 2 was really, really close. I took down game 1, and game 2 was so close. And it was we had such fun when we played. Like, he's such a great guy, and it was just really fun. But I think the top of all was when Jonathan Potato realized that he was actually going into top 16. When he got the final message, he was so nervous waiting for it. He knew it was 5 and 2, and that he could get in, but he didn't get the notice yet. And then once he got it, seeing how happy he got, that's what it's all about. That's
That's sweet.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a good note to end this pod on. Thank you so much for participating, and I guess may the force be with you.
May the force be with you all.
May the force be with you.